Gentlemen, I'm going to do a whiteboard presentation for you that will show you some of the analysis that I've come down to for the surveys that I've done over the many years. It has a lot to do with how to talk to your client and what the client comprehends, because it's not a problem for you, being that, you know, I've given you the paperwork and the information to deal with this. However, the client doesn't know how to do that in as short a period of time as we were able to accomplish it. There is a lot of problems in the energy industry because of the complexity. There are so many different types of energy that are available that it's almost confusing for the average client. So I'm going to show you what I did for one particular gentleman, just to illustrate the point of view. Now, as I set about doing this, I want you to understand in your mind, and take this for what it's worth, that most people are not familiar with compounding factors. Compounding is an exponential process. It's a mathematical thing that's been around for hundreds of years. It is not commonly trained. So when it comes to money or energy or effort, there's a very large disconnect. So I brought it upon myself to do the surveys so that I can make it more efficient for you and more effective and more dramatic, because that's basically what you need to do. These people, the average client, as I should say, or the average customer, is very much at odds when it comes to understanding all of the things that can go into a problem to accomplish an energy issue. Energy, when I say energy, I'm not just talking about electricity or hydraulics or nuclear or solar or anything like that. I'm talking about the energy that they put into something has value that they've not calculated. So you have to show that. If you do not, then the client or your prospective business venture is going to suffer tremendously. So let me show you what I did for, and I'll illustrate it with a family that I did. He was a working class person. He was an electrician, a union electrician, excuse me, earning $28 an hour. So I will show this to you, but then I'm going to point out some things that are very significant. This gentleman was earning $28 an hour, so I showed him how to do a simple computation, which he understood with an easy-to-use calculator, not a computer system as of yet. He told me that he worked 40 hours a week, so I just did the simple calculation, and that gave him a gross of $1,120 a week. That gave him an annual of $58,240 a year. Well, that's gross money, because he's paying withholding taxes and Social Security and federal taxes out of that money. All right? So then I showed him, we figured out that what he had was essentially, because of his position in life as far as taxes are concerned, his net money, his take-home money, amounted to $784 a week. That's approximately 30% of his gross income. Now, it sounds like I'm talking about a lot of numbers, but if I do not, you will not understand where this is going and how it gets there. So I'm trying to be as descriptive as I can. So that's after tax money, he's going to clear $40,000 and change. So I showed him that if he made a 5% mistake on this money because of rising gas prices or changes in energy figures, or just you know, money that he just didn't think that he was throwing away. Okay, and I'm not trying to teach him efficiency. I'm trying to get him to understand the compounding effect of how technology works, because all of technology works on a compound factor. It's all exponential arithmetic, which is something that unless you're in the upper level education process, you're not going to comprehend, because it's been brought and taught to you by complex means. I'll just be that gracious. So, what I showed him, and I'll explain this other later, but what I showed him was, if he just did 5%, which is normal, okay, that would amount to 5% of his take-home pay, $784, would come to $39.20 per week. That's a total of $2,038 a year. Now, that doesn't sound like a lot of money. It is to a lot of people. To some people, it isn't. You know, you have to address your communication to whom you're talking to. Now, this is a simplistic explanation, because what I said to him was, you do your calculations or your finances or your objections based on after-tax money, not on gross money. To do those calculations is a very simple thing. However, very few people that I've surveyed, including a lot of business owners, fail to figure out that method. You know, they leave it up to an accountant, or they leave it up to somebody else, or the bookkeeper does it, or so on and so forth. Well, that's where a lot of the problems are. The issues that they're going to face is the fact that they really didn't understand the fact that interest on money, or the compounding effect, is a global process. It is not a simple issue. The process that goes into doing this is so simple. If you understand that, if you learn how to take things apart, that makes it easy for these people to comprehend exactly what it is they're doing and how they're doing it. This particular formula here on the page is a more advanced system in the banking industry. It is a formula of present worth, how to calculate present worth. Well, if you showed that to a client, he would look at you like you're crazy. He's like, I don't know that. It's not a difficult thing, but it scares a lot of people. And that's one of the things that I found is where a large part of the problem is. The issue that I'm talking about with this guy here is the fact that this amount of money every year, if he were to just do a simple projection, if he just ignored this over a period of, say, 10 years, a simple projection, and here I've laid out the charts for you so that you can do it without even a basic calculator. However, if he did the 5% factor at 10 years, that's a factor of 13.207 on the chart. Now this is a simple interest, or excuse me, a compound interest, an annual compound interest chart. If you learn how to use this, then you would understand that it's not just about money. This is about depreciation, appreciation, running costs, incurring processes. Okay, this constantly happens 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you did this simple calculation and ran this out for a 10-year period of time, which is all you have to do, you would find out that this gentleman here is going to lose $921 in a 10-year period, just on a 5% loss. Now that's money that he didn't realize. And it doesn't make him a miser, it doesn't make him prudent, it doesn't make him worldly, it's just plain and pure simple arithmetic. Well, the arithmetic is very confused in the general population. They love to play with the numbers. The numbers will eat you alive, because even though you're only working a 40-hour week, there's only 200 days in a year. So the other 165 days of the year are what you're going to spend your money on. As the cost of energies go up and up and up, as the building industry suffers, for this gentleman here, being an electrician, he doesn't have a warranty or a guarantee that tells him that he is going to have work for 40 hours a week for the next year. So there's a lot of uncertainty involved. So the uncertainty is, you have to bring it to his attention of what energy really is. Like, you know, how much does it cost him to go to work to make the money? That's where a large disconnect is. Excuse me. You have to show him how to be conscious of what his comfort zone is. Without that, he has no way to help himself or understand how to fund himself. There's a ton of money available for doing this kind of stuff, and to be direct with people. I mean, if you just show them the math, you don't have to invent formulas. I've taken all of the formulas and reduced them to a simplistic factor, so where you can make use of them with a simple calculator and one chart. Sometimes you can use the chart without even a calculator. It's that easy. But not knowing what time and money is about, because time is a separate factor from the value of money. It's commonly taught as a time and money problem. It is not. That's where a large part of the mistake is. So when you talk to a client, he doesn't want to hear that you want to sell him something. You want to show him how to do this so that you can help him find the money to reposition himself. You would be amazed when I went through with this gentleman and his wife. Within an hour's time, we were able to find almost $9,300 a year in excessive charges and credit card interest and things like that he was able to put his finger on. That was quite amazing. Then I said to him, you know, on his energy bill, and on the next video we're going to get into what you can do with the existing energy or the engineering that's already available, okay? But for this video session, we're just going to talk about money, because money is energy. You're going to spend energy, the food, the effort. That's the point. You don't talk to these people like you want to sell them light bulbs. It's, you know, they're not really interested in that. They need something that's more substantial. You need to show them where the problem is and make it simple for them to come to those conclusions on their own. Then they can have a conversation with their financial advisor or their accountant or something like that. Okay, they can avoid a lot of problems before they take place. You would be amazed at the amount of interest that I've gotten by doing this type of a program for these people. Because I'm not going to discuss all of the complexities over the engineering of what a watt is, or how to measure electrical problems, or what is the problems with the electricity grid, or how much gas is consuming into your system, or what kind of airflow system you're going to have in a house. Those are all separate issues. You do this, and on the next video, we'll discuss some of the other issues that take place with the engineering that's already there, but it's not on the market or available in stores. You have to look for that. Those kinds of things are not available to the common person. You would be amazed at how much actual engineering is available at your fingertips right now without reinventing the wheel. So as far as I can help you, this is a system that works. It is very easy to adapt to any circumstance. I've also written the program for businesses. But as far as this kind of a system, I can't make it any easier. This is, I racked my brains and went through over 1,000 different datas from different collections, from buildings, houses, and so on and so forth, to come up with the curriculum that would be more effective and more realistic, because that's what works. So I hope you like this little video. Thank you very much.